Good morning to all of you. So, we are going to talk on the class of web technology. So, for the last almost near about 14 to 15 classes, we have discussed about the various web technologies. We have discussed about the various web technologies like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, there is XSL, there is XML. So, this type of web technology, part of the web technologies, what are the web technologies can be used for the display purpose, for the documentation format purpose. So and we have seen some HTML coding also, how to do that, how to display that. So what will be the extension? So we have discussed about these things. So now there are some more things that is available. That is, there are some called PHP Apache web server. That is something new. MySQL that we already know that have we have studied in DBMS and there is also PHP, Apache Web Server, MySQL, and the open source. So these are the also some other techniques present, or these are some softwares or we call things are present in our part of the web technology. So we have to know about this thing also. We have to discuss on this thing also. What is an open source? There are some network issues going on, and that's why it is connecting and disconnecting. Okay. So, what is an open source? What is an open source? So, we all know that what is open source called actually. So, open source means that we can get easily, that we don't need to pay for it, and that the type of thing that we can use for some modification purpose. Means it is for the user who can modify on the things. So in general if we are talking about open source referred to any program, open source referred to any program where source code is made available for use or the modification purpose, for use or the modification purpose. So open source program for source code is made available for use or the modification, for use or the modification. So this software is usually developed as a public collaboration and made available as free. So any user, anyone, not a user, so any person can find it, can get it, and can use it. So it means that can be used without purchasing the license version. Purchasing the license version or purchasing any type of license, just like our Linux, that is an open source software. Just like our Deep C++, it is an open source software. Anaconda, this is an open source software. So these are the things which is our open source. So open source is a certification mark owned by the Open Source Initiative. So OSI, there is a government body that have been present, so who are actually marking or recognizing this particular open source initiatives, and they give a certification mark. Developers of those softwares as is intended to be freely shared and possibly improved and redistributed by others that can use the open source trademark if their distribution terms are there. So these are the terms of for the OSI. They have some rules for this open source software initiative. They have some trademarks also. So this software being distributed must be redistributed to anyone else without any restrictions. So one thing is there that if it is open source, if the software is open source, then there no one can put a restriction for using that particular software. So it is free. Anyone can get it, anyone can use it. And the source code of this particular software must be made available. The source code of this particular software must be made available. Must be made available. So the open source softwares, the code are available easily and anyone can get it and anyone can use it. So the example for this open source software, as I said, Linux can be open source software, Anaconda is open source software, Apache, MySQL, PHP, Dev C++, all are these of open source software. So this open source software, in the category of open source software, there is a topic of PHP. There is a topic of PHP. So if I'm talking about the topic of PHP, so what is PHP? What is the we can say that what is the purpose of this PHP, or what is the PHP used for? So PHP. So PHP is a general purpose server-side scripting language we can talk about. So it is a general purpose server-side scripting language. So it is a hypertext preprocessor. We can also say that PHP is an hypertext preprocessor, and it is an open source scripting language. It is an open source scripting language, and the scripting language are used or executed at the server side. Is executed at the server side. So this PHP as a term, we can say that it is a general purpose server side scripting language designed for the web development to produce the dynamic website. To produce the dynamic website. So what are the files that PHP can contain? So PHP files can contain the text, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and also the PHP code. So these are the things that a PHP can actually contain. So text, HTML file, CSS file, JavaScript file, and PHP code also that can be used by the PHP. And as I said, that this PHP code is executed on the server side. This PHP code is executed on the server side, and the result is returned to the browser as a plain HTML. So whatever the execution is happening, it is executed on the server side. It is executed on the server side, and the result is displayed on the client side as a plain text HTML, as a normal HTML. And the extension for use for a PHP file is .php. .php. So this PHP script can execute it on the web server and serve web pages on the user to user on the request to user of the request. So PHP, it was designed in the year of 1994, and it is a personal homepage tool, C script as it called. So it is a maintaining the normal. All the things are happening on the web server side. All the things are happening in the web server side. So this PHP code was embedded into the HTML source document and interpreted by a web server with a PHP processor module, which generates the web page document. So how this PHP actually works? This PHP working on the server side, PHP is working on the server side, and the code is embedded into the HTML source document, where the thing, whatever the request have been generated from the client side, it was requested to the server, and server is doing responding, executing the process, and then returning to again to the client side as a plain HTML file, So what this PHP can do? What PHP can do? So PHP can generate the dynamic page content. One of the most advantage that is that we can talk about in PHP, that PHP can generate a dynamic page content. PHP can generate dynamic page content. Second one, we can say that PHP can create, open, write, delete, close files, whatever the operations are, it can be done on the server side. It can be done on the server side by the PHP. So PHP can do open, create, write, delete, whatever the operations that can be done on the server side. Third one, PHP can collect the form data. So PHP, as we know that there are many type of forms available on the web right for nowadays, and the data of that particular must be saved, must be stored. So PHP can do that particular task. PHP can store the data, collect the data from the forms actually. PHP can send and receive cookies. PHP can send and receive the cookies. So cookies is a part of webtech, or we can say the browsers and the history of data or the part. So this PHP can store or the send and receive the cookies. PHP can send and receive the cookies. PHP can also modify the database. PHP can also modify the database, add, delete, or modify any type of databases. And PHP can be used to control the user access. So PHP also can be used for the authentication purpose or the verification purpose. So it can be used to control user access. PHP can encrypt the data. So security purpose also we can use the PHP. So we can say that advantages or many advantages are there for the PHP. So many advantages are there for the PHP. So if I'm just talking again about those particular what are the advantages of PHP. First one, it can generate the dynamic page content. Second one, it can create, open, read, write, whatever the operation is needed on the server side. PHP can collect the form data. PHP can send and receive the cookies. PHP can encrypt the data. PHP can control user access. Or the last one, PHP can add, delete, modify on the database side. So these are the things that are advantages for the PHP. So there are many things already present, but why still we are using this PHP? Because PHP runs on any platform, Windows, Linux, Mac, whatever the platform you are using, PHP works on any platform. And second one, that is it is adaptable or it is a compatible with all servers, with all servers. So whatever the servers we are using today, just Apache, IIS, whatever the servers are, PHP was designed like that it is compatible or it is adaptable in all of the servers, in all of the servers. So it can be worked in all servers. So this is the most important part for PHP. That why are using the PHP in nowadays. So talking about this PHP and the particular thing, next we have the web server. So first we are going to check the basics, whatever the things are. So next our part is that is a web server. So what is a web server? So a web server, we all know that it is a computer and the program installed on it. So web server is a computer and the programs are installed on it, and it interacts with the client through the browser. So web server interacts with the client through the browser. So browsers are present on client side, and also some browsers are present in server side. So the communication, the request or whatever the interaction will be there, it will be happening through the browser. It will be happening through the browser. So it delivers the web pages to the client and to an application by using the web browsers and HTTP protocol. So the web server follow the HTTP protocols and also the applications by using the web browser. Also the application by using the web browser. Okay, just a minute. I am just taking 1 minute break. Okay, so these web servers are a computer is a computer and the programs are installed on it and it interacts with the client via the browser, via the web browser. So it can be defined that web server as a package. It can be defined that web servers as a package of larger number or programs installed on a computer connected to internet or intranet for downloading the requesting files using file transfer protocol FTP, serving email, building and publishing web pages. So what are the basic definition uh, of web server? That the web server as the package of large number, the web server as the package of large number programs of installed on the web server side and the computer and the web server of the computer are connected via the internet or the intranet for the requesting or downloading the purpose of requesting files via the FTP file transfer protocol, serving the email and building and publishing the web page. Publishing the web page. So this web server works on the client server model. This web server works on the client server model. Works on the client server model. A computer connected to internet and internet must have a server program. So whatever the server, they have the server programs and that works on the via of server programs. So computer connected to the internet for providing the services to a small company or department store may contain this file of HTTP servers to across which can store the web pages and the files. So these are the particular things present and the servers or the computers containing all above servers is called the web browsers. It's called the web browser. It's called the web browser. So Apache web servers is also present there. So next part, that is Apache web server. The Apache web server, it is a new or a few days it have been back a few years back we can say that it was designed and it is referred to as Apache is web server software for playing a key role for the initial growth of World Wide Web. So for the growth of, so it was designed large, we can say that 8 to 10 years back. The Apache Big Data Hadoop, this concept was introduced, and this was after that from the day of after the day of this introduction of this Apache Big Data Hadoop, this particular web servers, the growth of World Wide Web have changed a little bit. So this first version of Apache based on the NCSA HTTP web server was developed in the 1995. So, but it was the first. So it was that on the particular trial, but later on the full phase of this Apache Big Data Hadoop was come to scenario if I'm talking about in the year of 2010 onwards. So 2008-9 onwards, all of this particularly came into the scenario. So the original version of Apache was written for Unix, but now there are version that runs under different type of operating system. Just like the others, that Apache is also an open source software and it is distributed by Apache Software Foundation. It is distributed by Apache Software Foundation and it is also the reliable and free. So as we are talking about the open source software, so it is obviously free to use. Next, MySQL. So I don't think we need to talk about this MySQL because we know all that what is MySQL. It is a database management system, or we can say a relational database management system that runs a server providing multi-users access to a number of databases. So we already use this MySQL server for the database purpose. We have worked on it. So MySQL it is providing the multi-user access to a number of databases. That data which is stored in our MySQL databases in objects where the data are actually stored, that is called the tables. And a table is a collection of related data entries. A table is a collection of related data entries and consists of columns and rows. Consists of columns and rows. So we all know this particular basis of MySQL, but now what is the role of MySQL in the web technology? So web technology having the concept of the client server model and these type of things. Also, there are some databases because or we are working on data or we are working on data. So the data needs to be stored somewhere. The data needs to be put somewhere. So here the part MySQL or the databases software comes into the scenario. As we are talking about MySQL, it is an open source software also, and we can use this MySQL with the combination of PHP for the connection of databases. We can use MySQL with JavaScript also or JDBC for connecting of the databases. So MySQL or the database can be connected or plays a part in the web technology. In the web technology. So now here, what is why you are talking about this Apache, MySQL, and PHP? What are the relation? Why it is? What are the relation between these particular three? So this AMP or Apache, MySQL, PHP, Apache, MySQL, PHP module are working together. So that's why it is called an AMP module. That's why it is called an AMP module. So first of all, we are talking about PHP. So we already uh, check that PHP is a server-side scripting, and it was designed for creating the dynamic website. It was designed for creating dynamic websites. So the Apache is slots Apache web servers and processes instructions. It slots into the Apache web server and processes the instruction containing in the web pages before that page is sent through the web browser. So the part is all the things are happening in the web server side, and the process of the display is displaying in the client side through a web browser. So the PHP slots into the Apache web server, PHP slots into the Apache web servers, and it contains instruction content in a web page before that page is sent through a web browser. So this PHP is a powerful scripting language that can be run in the command line of any computer with the PHP installed. So if anyone PHP is installed, so we can also run it with the command line form. So we can use the command line argument also for the using purpose, for the PHP using purpose. And this is a powerful scripting language that can be run with the command line argument of any computer that has PHP installed. Now, what is the Apache part? Apache, to use PHP on a website, we need a server that can process the PHP script. So PHP works on the server side, we all know. But if there is no servers, then how we can execute that? So for that, we need a web server. We need a web server there, and that web server is a part of Apache. So we are using the Apache for the web servers part. So this Apache used to PHP, we need a server that can process the PHP script, that can process this PHP script. So here Apache is playing the role, or Apache is a free web server that once installed on a computer allows developer to teach PHP script locally. This makes an invaluable piece of your local development environment. So using the Apache web server, which is free, and it can also run the PHP script. So that's why if we are using the Apache, then we can run the PHP scripting code, and also in our in our local development environment also, and it will run the PHP script locally. Like all the web servers, Apache accepts an HTTP request and serves an HTTP response. So an HTTP request from the user side, from the client side, comes to the web server side, and the server will be respond by the HTTP response. Now the third part, that is the MySQL. The third part, that is MySQL, that is related with the PHP and the Apache. Related with PHP and the Apache. So MySQL, as I said, that it is a database. We all know these dynamic websites are dependent on the stored information that can modify quickly and easily. So it is a difference between a dynamic site and a static HTML site. So dynamic websites are dependent on stored information that can modify quickly and easily. So that's why it is dynamic. So we can, whatever the changes needed, it can be done quickly. So here the difference between a dynamic site and a static HTML site is there. PHP does not provide a simple or efficient way to store data. So PHP does not provide a simple or efficient way to store the data. So where now the scenario of relational database takes place, the software of MySQL comes into the scenario that is helping to store the data, in the PHP web servers, or with the help of, or working with the PHP web server. So PHP provides a support for it, and the database is free as an open source project. So this MySQL is playing or working with PHP to store the data into the databases. So MySQL is a database management system, and this allows users to store the information in a table-based row-column structure using rows and columns to recognize the different pieces of data. So now the part of PHP, because MySQL, we all know what is the part of MySQL. We have already studied in our previous semesters. So first we are going to talk about the PHP. So PHP in array. So array, what is the array? How we can compute the array in the PHP. So this array is a group of variables that can store multiple values under a single name. So it is a basic definition. We have studied the definition of array in our C from the beginning of third semester or second semester. So this array, what is the simple definition? That it is a group of variables that can store multiple values under a single name. So now in PHP, the array particular, that is the numeric array, associative array, and multidimensional array. Three types of array are present. Numerical array, multidimensional array, and associative array. So first, what is numeric array? So on a numeric array, each element having the numeric key associated with it, what is starting from 0. So what is a numeric array? We can see that in numeric array, each element having numeric key associated with it starting from 0. So starting from the 0, the array, each element having numeric key associated with the starting from 0, and we can use this array function to create an array. So in PHP, we can use the array function to create an array. So the general syntax is that array name equals to the array, the value. Array name equals to the array and the value of 1 to up to the n term. So what is the general syntax? Array name equal to array. The functions are there, the value 1, 2, 3, and n. So we can see an example here. That is starting with the PHP. Then my array. So the array name is my array. Then the array and the values. So A, B, C, these are the values present in our array. So PHP my array, and then the values of the array. Then we are printing that particular array, that is my array. So what is the name? That is the my array. We are putting that particular in the display purpose or in the resultant purpose. So print underscore r my array. So the output will be 0 to A. So what is the value present in our 0th term? That is 0 index, that is A. What is the value present in our 1 index? That is B. What is the value present in our second index? That is C. So this is how easily we can store the data. So these are the parts. So we can also refer to individual element of an array. We know that while we are using C and Java, we can also refer to the individual element of an array and that can be done by my array. The array, if I putting the value of A, B, C, and while at the display time, while at the printing time, if we are mentioning the index position, that is my array 1. So what is the value present at 1? That is B. What is the value present at 1? So that is B. So by this particular, we can also print the individual values. We can also print the individual values. We can also print the individual values. So this is a particular form of numeric array. So in this numeric array, we can use also the for, while, do, loop. So whatever the loops are present, we can also use that to iterate through each element in an array. So we know that you see that how we can iterate, how we can access each of the index element by using some for loop. So whatever the loops are there, we can use the loops for the iteration purpose. For the iteration purpose. So we can use the loops also, and I am not going to tell that because we all know that how to use the loops in the array. How to use the loop in the array. So numeric array, it is considering some values and the particular part. So up to this particular part, today we are going to discuss, and we are going to stop today here because the time is going to end. The time is less. So now I am going to share the QR code for the attendance purpose. You people can scan the QR code and give your attendance. Mark the QR code and put your attendance. So you people mark your QR code and put your attendance. So I have shared the QR code with you people. I have shared the QR code with you people. Okay. So scan the QR code and for mark your attendance. Mark your attendance. Okay. So this is all for today's class. We will have a class of web technology again tomorrow. Okay, on Sunday. So I will share the link and code with all of you. So we will have the class again on tomorrow, as there is a notice already given that we will have the classes of the last 27, the date of 27 on the Sunday. So there is one class. There is one class of web technology. So we are going to have that class on Sunday. We are going to discuss on Sunday, or I am going to share the link and time, all of the thing by tonight. Okay. So we will meet again tomorrow. And thank you all for joining into the session. Scan the QR code and mark your attendance. It will only have 10-minute window time. So within 10 minutes, those who are present, the 19 participants need to scan and mark their attendance. Thank you all for joining into the session. Take care and stay safe.